The greatest trick the devil ever played was making you believe that the pessimists are the good guys. Midwits hate earnestness and sincere conviction because they can't stand being reminded of the thing they're capable of but resist: actually trying. People will try to put the same limitations on you that they put on themselves. Don't mistake their insecurities for your ceiling. Whatever you fear establishes the boundaries of your freedom. So if you're afraid of heights, you stay low. If you're afraid of people, you stay alone. In the moment, you have lots of fears and uncertainty, and that causes you to not enjoy stuff as much as you could. In the future, you are able to see all of the fears that you could have worried about. None of them, or one of them, came to pass. So you realize that all of your fears didn't need to be something to worry about, and all of the enjoyment, how you should have enjoyed it back then, was actually where you should have placed your time and your attention. The common feeling that your life has not begun, that your present reality is a mere prelude to some idyllic future. This idyll is a mirage that'll fade as you approach, revealing that the prelude you rushed through is in fact the one to your death. Do you know what the tasks that you didn't go for made other people think about you? Nothing. They don't think anything about you because you didn't try. The very thing that you were worried of happening is going to happen if you don't go for it. If your life was a movie and people were watching up to this point, what would the audience be screaming at the screen, telling you to do with your life? I'm certain that most capable people don't believe in themselves enough, and a lack of confidence killed more dreams than a lack of competence ever did. The idea that one day life's duties will be out of the way and that you can finally start doing the thing you want and living your life fully is a myth. I think it's a lie. There is a part of you that is going to experience and enjoy the past more than you did when you were going through it. In 3 generations, no one will even remember your name. And if that doesn't give you liberation to just drop your problems and find some joy, I don't know what will. My friend explained that when he finds himself getting carried away by jealousy or frustration or anger, he asks a few questions. So the first one that he asks is, out of all of the emotions you could have chosen, why did you choose that one? And second question he asks is, and how's that working out for you? What has been the outcome of that emotion arising? Has it made your life, relationships, quality of mind better or worse? Life is inherently ridiculous and guaranteed to end sooner or later, so you might as well enjoy the ride.
It's wise, I think, to understand the machinations of how populace works, how being in with the group works, to understand the rules of each game, knowing your zone and still being able to be yourself, or still being yourself if you're playing a role to get what you want. It's like the Dylan thing. He was like, what is it? Like, no, don't go. I don't know what all this be yourself's about, man. It's like, you are what you create, man. We're all our creations. That's a form of being yourself by going, I'm a new creation every day.
Yeah, which you are.
Right. If you want to be, you know? Whatever part that is you're playing. But it's the best ones you don't see them playing a part. Like going back to acting.
Yeah.
In real life or in acting.
Yeah.
You don't see or athletics. You don't see the work. You don't see oh, there's a tell. Oh, I saw him do a thing. He played an attitude. He didn't play himself. You don't see those things. It's seamless.
Well, to me, it's like, do you want to be the actor that gets the parts that Matthew McConaughey turns down? Or do you want to get the parts that they're offering to you because they want you? But most of us go, I don't know, I'd rather just kind of get somebody else's leftovers.
Right. And sometimes those leftovers are damn worth getting. But I hear you. When you're living and you feel like you're one of one.
Yeah, you want to be the first person they ask.
Yeah. But I've been in positions where I was the 3rd pick.
Yeah.
And I saw it was like, I'm going to show them why it should have been the first pick.
Yes.
For the next,
sure.
I'm going to invest. I'm going to make sure I don't just dial this in, which I could connect all the dots and do it really well.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something that makes them go, who's that guy?
Yes.
I want him for first pick next time. So it can be a ramp to a higher ceiling.
Totally.
But I think what you're saying is, it's a lot easier to just sit there and go, yeah, let me get the leftovers and do what I can with it, and mimic what the status quo would be for that. I mean, you can pull it off. I just think you're gonna get there going, what if?
Yeah.
I didn't find out.
Yeah.
I didn't take the chance to absolutely get booed by the masses on a complete failure. Or I didn't get the chance to absolutely find out and show up on the other side and they go, you did it.
Yeah.
How'd you do that? What is that? What is that thing you're doing? Never seen it before. Creating, Roy Spence, who's a friend of mine. You know Roy?
No.
GSD&M, great advertising mind, marketing mind. They had the 7-Up account.
Okay.
And I think the story goes, they were fighting against Coca-Cola and Pepsi. They couldn't get past, and I think it maybe even RC. They couldn't get past the 4-hole.
Yeah.
And he said, wait a minute, we're fighting to be in the cola category.
Yeah.
Let's create a new category and be the uncola.
Right.
Which became the ad campaign, and then they were number one in a new category.
Right.
A new ladder that they created. Know that me personally, my greatest successes, not mean like most, but just the most qualitative successes I've had in mine, are when I'm not asking permission. Not in any anti way.
Yeah.
Just, no, I'm not apologizing. There's nothing to apologize for. I'm not apologizing, and I'm not asking permission.
Yeah.
But to get, and not to go like, I don't think I need it. No, that's one step away. No, I'm not asking permission.
Yeah.
Not, I don't think I should ask permission. No, you're not there yet. If you're going, I don't think I should ask, that's already two sort of gilding the lid to get to sun. No, I'm not asking permission. And almost like, not even being able to say it out loud, but just knowing it. No, there's no permission going to be asked from me on this. You're thrown into isolation and self-reliance. And it goes a little bit deeper because you don't have the attaboys or way to goes or the soft landings. And you're like, dude, it's me on me right now. Here we go. And that's just a hell of a charge. I mean, a good charge.
Yeah, sure.
Of stimulation and you can get in that subjective place.
Yeah.
To where you're not even, I think I'm always aware. When I said earlier, like, know your zone, I'm aware. Like I said, I pop into that objective spot and go, I think I kind of know. Look, I started off writing green. The first 2 weeks, I was trying to write impressively.
Yeah.
I remember going back, going, whoa, let's turn a phrase. Woo.
Yeah.
Let's do more.
Yeah.
2 weeks, I went on, and then I got to the 2-week period, it gained a little confidence that I had some goods to share, worth sharing, and then looked at my stuff and I was like, that's bull, bro. Yeah. You're waxing the car, man.
Yeah.
You know, the engine, talk about the engine and the oil, and you're waxing the car.
Right.
And I was like, that's good wax, but bullshit.
Yeah.
Compared to what the honest truth is. So then got the confidence to go, dude, don't write impressively. If you write it well and honestly, it may be impressive.
Yes.
But don't write impressively. And that first 2 weeks, I was trying to write impressively. Now, you got a few things that sometimes you got to watch that too with our cliff notes. You know, when you have something, we may process it many times and it becomes obvious to us. Yeah. And then you project it or you play it out there for the first time or share it and they're going, wow. And you're like, come on, wow, that's an obvious one. And you're like, no, that's the one. Yeah. Don't cut that, don't edit that one out. That's brand new. It's like the joke, script writers do this in Hollywood. Early script. There's a great joke everyone loves. Yeah. Give them but they still have to go back and rewrite the script. Give them a couple passes. They'll remove that joke. And you're like, dude, you're tired of it. Yeah. Because you wrote it a year ago and you've rewritten it twice. Remember, we're giving it to an audience for the first time. Right. They're getting it. We love that one from the beginning. Don't make a straight line crooked, man. That was a winner. Yeah. Keep that winner there. Don't get a new bright idea. Yeah. That is great. Even though you got bored with it because you've written it. You've done the rewrite 10 times. That's you. You didn't see the work, as they say with athletes. Yeah. You don't see the work. You didn't see the prep. You didn't see, oh, I got a planned move. Oh, I got a little thing I'm going to do. Yeah. No, you don't see any of that. Green lights was a philosophy that was a prism that once it clicked with me, for the months, or year, or whatever it took me to write it, I was seeing everything through that lens.
Yeah.
Measuring I just had that was a green light moment.
Yeah.
Everywhere. My dance with life, that was the music, it was through that lens. My new book, I've got what I think is a really solid lens and philosophy to look through, but I'm not, without trying, looking at life through that lens.
Yeah.
So when you start looking through the lens, I could not write that.
Yeah.
It had me.
Sure.
There's nothing else I could do. I had to.
Yeah.
And it was not hard because it was all encompassing 24/7, and I was seeing it everywhere. So I haven't got there in my next book where the philosophy that I'm purporting is how I'm seeing life, and it's writing itself. Yeah, I'm probably more relaxed because when I go act or something, it's a vacation for me. Singular focus.
Sure.
I have a reverence for my craft enough where if that's all I focus on for 3 months, I feel like that's a worthy day every day. I get to see my kids at the end of the day. My wife goes, go out the door, do not let go of your shoulder, go conquer, kick ass. I got this stuff handled, so I'm really relaxed. I've got one thing, and all my other work, all the other peripherals I have, my team knows the month and a half leading up to where I go to work. Let's get those off the table. Let's anticipate so I'm getting 3 emails a day.
Yeah.
I know if I'm gonna give a speech or something, there's some speeches everywhere I'm like, dude, don't change a word of that.
Yeah.
Don't go off script.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're gonna be reading instead of going engaging.
Yeah.
And I have times where I'm like, I don't care. And then when it's printed, I want it to be exactly what is said here. So maybe I won't be the best performing orator, but what will live on after will be exactly what I meant to say.
If you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made, that you made. And a made bed gives you encouragement that tomorrow will be better. I've been a Navy SEAL for 36 years. Every morning in SEAL training, my instructors, who at the time were all Vietnam veterans, would show up in my barracks room, and the first thing they'd do was inspect my bed. If you did it right, the corners would be square, the covers would be pulled tight, the pillow centered just under the headboard, and the extra blanket folded neatly at the foot of the rack. It was a simple task, mundane at best, but every morning we were required to make our bed to perfection. It seemed a little ridiculous at the time, particularly in light of the fact that we were aspiring to be real warriors, tough, battle-hardened SEALs. But the wisdom of this simple act has been proven to me many times over. It matters not whether you ever served a day in uniform. It matters not your gender, your ethnic or religious background, your orientation, or your social status. Our struggles in this world are similar, and the lessons to overcome those struggles and to move forward, changing ourselves and changing the world around us, will apply equally to all. If you think it's hard to change the lives of 10 people, change their lives forever, you're wrong. I saw it happen every day in Iraq and Afghanistan. But changing the world can happen anywhere, and anyone can do it. So what starts here can indeed change the world. You will likely fail often. It will be painful. It will be discouraging. At times, it will test you to your very core. At that darkest moment of the mission is a time when you need to be calm, when you must be calm, when you must be composed, when all your tactical skills, your physical power, and your inner strength must be brought to bear. If you want to change the world, you must be your very best in the darkest moments. If I have learned anything in my time traveling the world, it is the power of hope. The power of one person, a Washington, a Lincoln, King, Mandela, and even a young girl from Pakistan, Malala. One person can change the world by giving people hope. Start each day with a task completed. Find someone to help you through life. Respect everyone. Know that life is not fair and that you will fail often. But if you take some risks, step up when the times are the toughest, face down the bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never ever give up. If you do these things, the next generation and the generations that follow will live in a world far better than the one we have today. And what started here will indeed have changed the world for the better. Finally, in SEAL training, there's a bell. A brass bell that hangs in the center of the compound for all the students to see. All you have to do to quit is ring the bell. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to wake up at 5 o'clock. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to be in the freezing cold swims. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to do the runs, the obstacle course, the PT, and you no longer have to endure the hardships of training. All you have to do is ring the bell to get out. If you want to change the world, don't ever ring the bell. The average American will meet 10,000 people in their lifetime. 10,000 people, that's a lot of folks. But if every one of you changed the lives of just 10 people, and each one of those people changed the lives of another 10 people, and another 10, then in 5 generations, 125 years, the class of 2014 will have changed the lives of 800 million people. Over twice the population of the United States. Go one more generation, and you can change the entire population of the world, 8 billion people. Generations were saved by one decision, one person. What will the world look like after you change it? Well, I'm confident that it will look much, much better. You can't change the world alone. You will need some help. And to truly get from your starting point to your destination takes friends, colleagues, the goodwill of strangers. And while these lessons were learned during my time in the military, I can assure you that it matters not whether you ever served a day in uniform. I have a few suggestions that may help you on your way to a better world. SEAL training, which is 6 months long, really was a microcosm of life. I mean, it was about the challenges that you had every day in SEAL training were the same sort of challenges you were going to face in life. You were going to fail. You had to build relationships. There were going to be bullies out there. There were bad things that happened in that 6 months that to me, after, now almost 37 years after I had gone through SEAL training, I realized that it really was a reflection of life at large. In my class, we had an American Indian, we had, African Americans, we had, Polish, French, we had a lot of first generation kids. There's only one thing that we all have in common, and it isn't our physical fitness. It's the fact that we didn't quit. But you're going to have 1,000 opportunities to quit in your career, to quit on your family, to quit on your friends, to quit on the mission. But if you have learned early on that the one thing that sets you apart is that you don't quit, then you can make it through those tough times. I didn't want to be a quitter. I didn't want someone to think that I wasn't tough enough to make it through. When in command, command. You're in charge, take charge. Make the hard decisions, because that's what people expect when you are the commander. You know that as a leader, you have a responsibility to the men and women that you are leading. When things are their toughest, that's when they need you the most. And that's when you see the real courage come out. If there is a way out of the problem set, those that don't have the courage will run. Those that do will stay and fight. And it is always the man or the woman on your left and right. How much do you care about them? Are you willing to sacrifice your life so that they can live? But at some point in time, it becomes a calling. And it is when it becomes a calling that it has this effect on you that is hard to explain to people. Yeah, we have problems today, but here's why I am optimistic. I have great faith in this young generation. I think people are always surprised by that when I say that. It's a great generation of young men and women. Every generation thinks the next generation isn't good enough because they didn't walk 3 miles in the snow to get to school or whatever. Well, I'm telling you, this generation is absolutely good enough to get us out of whatever problems we're in. And so I always remain optimistic. You have to.
If you think about a problem in your life, the problem in your life is connected to certain people with certain, conditions at certain times in certain places. The moment you remember the problem, you're thinking in the past. But the thought, the memory is producing the emotion, and the emotion that you're feeling seems very real in the moment. People, when they have an event, what they do is they keep recalling the event because the emotions of stress hormones, the survival emotions, are saying, pay attention to what happened because you want to be prepared if it happens again. Turns out most people spend 70% of their life living in survival and living in stress. So they're always anticipating the worst case scenario based on a past experience. And they're literally, out of the infinite potentials in the quantum field, they're selecting the worst possible outcome, and they're beginning to emotionally embrace it with fear. And they're conditioning their body into a state of fear. When we stop doing all those things and reacting, and we start going, hey, what do you do? Oh, you're a solar panel guy? Oh, I'm a teacher. Oh, you're a doctor? Let's get together and let's start figuring out how to coexist. Oh, you're brown, I'm white, you're black. Who cares? That's the costume you're wearing to the masquerade. I celebrate your uniqueness. I'm weird too. And we're all like that. So the biggest lie is that kind of a way to create separation amongst people for the simple reason to disempower them. When you decide to change and you say, I want to get healthy, I want to get wealthy, I want to get free, the body says, listen, man, we got to get out of this misery. And I'd rather stay in my suffering and my pain than take a chance on possibility because it's been trained. The struggle in change is to be greater than the emotions that have been conditioned to the body, and to be greater than the habituation to get up and check your cell phone or check your email, all the stuff that we do. You can't be in the present moment when you're doing that. So it takes an enormous amount of energy, an enormous amount of awareness to be able to settle the body down. If you can do that enough times, the heart all of a sudden tells the brain, hey, the past is over, the trauma is over, the betrayal is over, and it resets the baseline in the brain. So now the person's no longer interested in the past. The heart has actually taken the body out of the past into the present moment. Now the heart is the creative center, and what does it say? Dream. Dream of a new possibility. This is your imaginary state. This is where the brain waves change. And all of a sudden you start thinking about possibilities you'll never have ever thought about before, because you're feeling the emotion of that future. And because you can feel the emotion of that future, you can put your attention on it, right? And where you place your attention is where you place your energy. And when we make those choices, in spite of those voices over and over again, the voices go away. And whether you're becoming a champion in handball, or whether you're being a father, or whatever it is that you make up your mind to do, if you really make up your mind to do that, you gotta make a different choice. A lot of different choices, and those choices lead to different behaviors, and that's how you change. When the heart begins to open and it begins to become coherent, in other words, when you're feeling frustration or impatience or judgment, your heart is beating very incoherently. When you're feeling love and gratitude, kindness and care, there's a rhythm, there's a cadence that the heart has that's very coherent. It immediately informs the brain that the trauma is over. The heart tells the brain the past is over, the event is over, and it resets the baseline in the brain. And so now the person, when they look back at their past, they're no longer looking at it from the same level of consciousness. In fact, many of them will say, oh my God, I needed to go through all of that to get to this point right here. They'll tell you, they'll say, I wouldn't want to change one thing in my past because it got me to the present moment. Okay, so we work with Navy SEALs, special ops, prisoners. We work with people that have had some very serious traumas, difficult childhoods. These people are, night terrors. It's kind of funny because the moment that person actually breaks through from the emotion, and the words they typically describe, they say, was like my heart exploded. It's like my heart blew wide open. The moment that happens, they're bringing their body right out of the past, right into the present moment. You can't tell me that your past was so brutal that you can't change, because we have seen people with some really, really horrible pasts that literally are completely different people that have completely different lives. The memory without the emotional charge is called wisdom. And now you're ready for the next adventure in your life. The soul can't go to the next adventure if it's holding on to the past.